ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। 28 onwards. आयुधानामहं वज्रम्
आयुधानामहं वज्रम्
धेनूनामस्मि कामधुक्
धेनुनामस्मि कामधुक्
प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः
प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः
सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः
सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः
अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानाम्
अनन्त चास्मि नागानाम्
वरुणो यादसामहम्
वरुणो यादसामहम्
पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि
पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि
यमः संयमतामहम्
यमः संयमतामहम्
प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानाम्
प्रह्लादाचास्मि दैत्यानाम्
कालः कलयतामहम्
कालः कलयतामहम्
मृगाणाम् च मृगेन्द्रोऽहम्
मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहम्
वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्
वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्
पवनः पवतामस्मि
पवनः पवतास्मि
कामः शस्त्रभृतामहम्
रामः शस्त्रभृतामहम्
शशाणाम् मकरश्चास्मि
यशाणां मकराचास्मि
स्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी
स्तोत्रसामस्मि जाह्नवी
सर्गाणामादिरन्तश्च
सर्गाणाम् आदिरान्तश्च
मध्यम् चैवाहमर्जुन
मध्यं चैवाम अर्जुन
अध्यात्मविद्या विद्यानाम्
अध्यात्मविद्या विद्यानां
वादः प्रवदतामहम्
वादप्रवदनातामहम्
अक्षराणामकारोऽस्मि
अक्षराणां मकारोऽस्मि
द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च
द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च
अहमेवाक्षयः कालः
अहमेवाक्षयः कालो
धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः.
धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः
Again, अक्षराणामकारोऽस्मि
अक्षराणां मकारोऽस्मि
द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च
द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च
अहमेवाक्षयः कालः
अहमेवाक्ष्यकालः
धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः.
धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः धन्यवाद
So, continuing the study of Sri Krishna's advice to Arjuna on various alambanani. Alambanam means what? Various things that one can contemplate on. Just sunrise is enough. We get up in the morning, Aditya Hridayam, we chant. If you don't know to chant Aditya Hridayam, that is also fine. Just think of that law. Every day, lagatar, morning, rising, sun is rising, sun is rising, sun is rising. I don't know any Sanskrit. It's okay. Krishna also doesn't say you should know Sanskrit. No problem. No Sanskrit, no problem. Good to study Sanskrit, okay? Don't give up on the study of Sanskrit. But you don't condemn yourself because I don't know Sanskrit and all that. Lagatar, lagatar. Look at that. That order. That order is Ishvara. Suryaha. Can you recognize sun? Yes, I can recognize sun. Do you know the one word for sun? In English, you know sun. What about some other language? In your own Matribhasha? Yes, I know. Okay. Adityaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Just say Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. For 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then recognize that whole process. That whole process, that law. Aditya. That Aditya is a small part of Ishvara. A small part. Like that you think. Then you turn around. Then a child is crying. Child is crying. Hey, wow. Child is there. That's a blessing. Recognize the blessing. I have to take care of the child. Blessing. How many people have that blessing? Not many people. We think that it's all this thing, but there you look around. People are there. They want children. They don't have children. So crying child, don't keep screaming at people. Okay, I'm there for you. What shall I do now? Bhagavan's order. So just you can come up with your own vibhuti. Okay, and so aksharanam akarosmi. Another one he brings up. Vare vah. The more we read this, our whole culture just shines like sun. Look at that. Aksharana, look at the way we think. Aksharana, among the letters, Akshara is letter. Okay. Why Akshara is letter? Very interesting. Shara. You cannot divide it further. A sentence can be divided into words. Words can be divided into letters. Then letters can be. No, that's it. No, you can't divide it further. You can go Vedanta and all will take it further, but from a point of view of language, you can't go any more minute than a letter. That's why every language starts with like that they start. Every language, at least in Indian languages. English also A, B, C, like that they say. So every parent says, my child is able to say all the 26 alphabet. Arey wah. See, look at the vibhuti there. Okay. So, Aksharana, among the letters of the alphabet, I am Akara. I am Akara. Okay. There's a beauty in this. Okay. So, the sound, the basic sound that emanates from our vocal apparatus. Basic sound. We have to think about it a little. Basic sound with effortless sound. Just you have to obviously make an effort to get some air out of the body, right? Out of the lungs. Mm, mm, and, and you have to open the mouth also to make some sound. So, that's it. Ah, that sound is akaraha. In Sanskrit, there is a way of referring to letters. Sanskrit, Hindi, akaraha means the letter A. That is the way that translating the word akara is translated as what? The letter A. The letter which sounds like this. What? A. That is called akaraha. Akaraha, akaraha. So it's a very beautiful way of referring to somebody. You're teaching shlokas to somebody, and they're not pronouncing something properly. Dvandvasamasika samasika sa. You're saying samasikasya, no, it is sama. You have to say dirgham. Akaraha. Like that, you say the person understands what you're saying. Akaraha. Akaraha. Okay, so that's a beautiful way of expanding that letter, referring to that letter. Okay, so that is akara, and basic sound is a. Anything else, you have to make an effort. E, e. You have to stretch the lips, stretch the mouth. You have to exert some effort. E, oo, oo. You have to bring the lips together like this. Oo. That's why children, newborn babies, they can't make these sounds. Pa, pa. Pa is a labial. It has required the lips to fold and constrict like this. Labial. Because the sound is coming from the lip. So the child can't say p. Takes a while. Ah is easy to say for the child. Ma, ma, ma. Okay. So that it's able to do this. Ma, 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 ma. That it can do. Pa requires a little more effort. E and all chance, there's no chance. There's no chance. For a while it won't come. E because it requires E. Then maybe once it learns to smile, it looks as like that, it smiles. So maybe it picks up some things along the way. So some letters are very harder to get. That is impossible in the beginning. That. The parents will say that, but the baby won't say that. No, no chance, because the ta is a dental. The tongue has to touch the teeth. Ta. It has to come and touch the teeth. So it requires some articulation. So therefore, coming back, basic sound is ah. Basic sound. I am the one that sustains all the world of letters and the world of languages. Look at the way the thinking is different. Advaita means it just suddenly you just go off in a different world, and perfect it is also. And so Swamiji gives the example. Paramarthananda. The daughter is not well. Is taken to the hospital, and the doctor wants to see the examining the child. And say, ah, got it, got it, bolo beta. They say. They don't say e bolo beta. They don't say oo bolo. Just Just and the child knows. Means what? Open the mouth. Okay. So basic, most basic. Opens the mouth. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. And therefore, every other letter is a derivative of this akara. Okay? And so, because why every other letter? There are some 8 points of articulation. So, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga is guttural sound. Guttural point of articulation is the is the roof of the tongue, throat. So, kantyaha they say. Then talavya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, talavya. So, because the tongue is touching the roof of the palate, etc. Cerebral and all these articulations are there. I don't want to make this into a Sanskrit class, but but I is easiest. Okay, it doesn't you don't require much articulation. So Therefore, akaraha, karanaksharaha, karanaksharaha. So that is the cause of everything else. It sustains every other sound. That's the way to think about it. It is the upadana karanam of every letter that is pronounced. Okay. And what about other letters? They should be called karyaksharani. Karanaksharam and karyaksharani. That is the way to understand it. Then Veda also there is a statement akaro vai sarva vak. Akaro vai sarva vak. Okay. So that comes somewhere, and in one of the Vedas it comes. Okay. So sarva vak, all words means all languages. Sarva vak is what? Akaro vai. Indeed, they all resolve in akara. A leads to other letters in any language leads to other words, words leads to sentences, sentences means language. So akaro vai sarva vak. Okay. And therefore, there is a Saraswati stotram which says, Aham Vande, Panchashat Varna Vande Saraswati. I worship Saraswati, who is in the form of these letters of the alphabet. Okay, 51 letters like that it says. Okay? Which is great. We can tell this to children when we're teaching it. Who is this letter? Who is this letter? Saraswati. Yeah, Saraswati. Remember that. Like that we should say. So every letter has an Adhisthana Devata. This Adhisthana Devata will come in our culture. Very unique. Very unique. Why? Because it's all phenomena. It's all we are able to see the laws that are operating. The minute you see the laws, we have to talk about Adhisthana Devata. In English, they say presiding deity. Presiding deity. Yes, but Adhisthana is a very beautiful word. Means that Adhisthana means what? The supporting, that which is the basis of all that is perceivable to my eyes. Adhisthana Devata. And so, for Akara, there is an Adhisthana Devata. Okay? He is Brahmaji. Brahmaji. Could have guessed. Because Brahmaji is the creator. And Akara is the source of every other letter. Therefore, Brahma, that Chaturmukha Brahma, okay, that man is the Adhisthana Devata. And in Mahanyas, so some of you know, we've chanted Rudram, etc. And there is a Lagunyasa to purify for Nyasa. It's a Nyasa mantra. So before chanting the Rudra Shiva mantra, then we chant this Lagunyasam. So, Lagu, because Mahanyasam takes more time to chant. So abbreviated Mahanyasa is Lagunyasa. So that Mahanyasam, there is a this mantra is there. Am Brahmane, Padmahastaya, Lokadipate, Hamsavahanaaya, Sangaya, Sayudhaya, Sa Shakti Parivaraya, Umamaheshwaraya Namaha, Am Brahmane Namaha. The sentence begins with Am Brahmane and ends with Am Brahmane Namaha. Am Brahmane Namaha. Akaram Brahmane Namaha. Akara, who is nothing but Brahma, Brahmaji, unto him my salutations, like that. Why Brahmaji? Well, Brahmaji is the creator. He is the source. Everything begins with Brahmaji. Therefore, Akara, all letters in all languages begins with Akara. Basic sound, effortless sound, Akara. That is why. Therefore, Aksharanam Akarosmi. Now, just by the way, you might say, wait a minute, in English, is that sound there? If you ask, we may have a slight problem there. Because in Angla Bhasha, English, Akara is not there. Sound is not there. I mean, literally sound, I mean. Okay. A, B, C, A is there. But there's some difficulty with A. So that is why, see, for example, look at this. Take a name, Vidya. Vidya. Okay. We how do we write it in English? Hindi, Tamil, and all we can write it very well because there is a and there is a. Laghu is there and Dirgha is there. So both different letters are there. So it's very clear. We can express it. In English, how do you express it? There is no Laghu and Dirgha. There's only A. But we write Vidya. Vidya. If you want to literally pronounce what is written, what do you say? Vidya. It's not Vidya. Vidya. But we call, when you read it Vidya, we say. Okay. So because we know the context, we know that this word has to be pronounced Vidya. There is no chance any Vidya. Vidya. Nobody will say Vidya. Nobody. Nobody will say Vidya. So same thing. Preeti. Preeti. Priti. Priti is pretty. Pretty. Pretty or pretty. Whatever. But we don't say Preeti. Nobody will say Preeti. Preeti. Hey Preeti. Only will say. Why? Mentally, no, this has to be Preeti. Because we are used to that. That psyche, our psyche works like that. So we interpret all these transliterated words. We transliterate in wrongly. Wrongly means what? Incorrectly. Correct, incorrectly. And then we correct it when we pronounce it. Incorrect transliteration, then we correct it mentally. Okay. Srini. First of all, Srini itself is a problem. Why? Because there is no Srini. There is only Shrini. It has to be SHRI. There is no SRI in Sanskrit. There is no SRI. But SRI, that's it. SRI is written all over the place. Sri Vivek, Sri Vivek, Sri Vivek. So that Sri is wrong. Wrong transliteration. But we read it properly. And so Sri, and then Srini, Srinivas, Sri, Sreenivas. Not even VAS. VAS is Vas. Srinivas. That is what you should pronounce. Srinivas. But we say Srinivas. We say it correct. Okay, you get the idea. So, Narasimha. Look at this. Narasimha. Narasimh. Narasimha. Correct. Everything is Lagu. Okay. Everything is uh, Lagu. But then, what about Narayanan? Narayanan. It should be Narayanan, correct? Narayanan. We don't spell it as Nara, Narayanan. That's the correct spelling. The Narayanji should, tomorrow onwards, he will change his spelling. In his Zoom, he will say Narayan. Everybody wonder, who is this new person that has joined? so, so you see how that's going, Because in English, that Dirgha is not there. It's not there. Sound itself is not there. Look at this. One of my friends, he named his son as Anand. Okay, Anand. And living in America. Now, he's concerned how these Americans will pronounce this word. Now he's thinking. His thinking is like this. They will say Ananda something. Because they won't say there's no chance American Western guy is going to say and won't work. Therefore he says A, that's how he spelled it. A, then Nand. If you stop with D, they will stop with Nand. They will say Nand. Stop. So he says, no, I want them to say Nand. So he put a H after the D. Anandh. That's how his name is. So I've taught Veda Paranam to him. He chants very well. Very, very Vedic boy, really speaking. And so this Anand. But then there is slight problem. After all the name is all done, people call him an Anand, Anand, Anand. They say Anand because Nand is na, Nah. That's how they pronounce. There's no chance of saying Nand. What he should have done is, father should have done this. A-A-N-U-N-D-H. Because N-U-N is none, not nan. If he had done that, then he would have got the right pronunciation. Anand. So, so these are some of the problems when you go from an Indian language to a non-Indian language, especially English. Anyway, akaraha, aksharanam akarosmi. Okay. Next, look at this. Vandvaha samasikasya cha. This is just mind-boggling to me the way this words. Every word is loaded. See, I can just translate it and walk off. It's very easy to cover 5 shlokas in one class. But I want you to know properly. Simply, translations you can always read any. You can read books. There are so many books on Bhagavad Gita. Who's going to explain like this? Tell me. Any book talks like this? No, they won't. Because that's the thing. Books are not capable of. Otherwise, the book will become too boring. If all these things are said, it will become boring. But in a lecture, the teacher has the capacity to keep it interesting. Correct? Give the right examples and all. So, dvandvaha samasikasya. We'll spend some time on this. Okay. So this, some of you, how many of you know what this is referring to? Just raise your hand. Okay. So only 3 or 4 or 5 people know what this is. 6 people. Why? Because the others, if they have studied Sanskrit, they have not come to this topic called samasa, or they have not studied Sanskrit. One of the two possibilities. Okay. So some Sanskrit is needed. Knowledge is needed for this. That's okay. We all have that knowledge. Okay. What is he saying here, first of all? Dvandvaha samasikasya cha. So, and I am among the samasas. There is a particular construct in Sanskrit called samasa. Hindi में भी है ना समास. समास बोलते हैं. I think I remember studying samasa in Hindi, but I was so poor in Hindi that I don't know what all the knowledge where it went. So anyway, among those particular constructs called samasas, and I'll explain that to you shortly. I am called dvandva, like that he said. So we need to understand this properly. What is he saying? Samasa. Look at it. Samasa is basically a combination of words to form bigger words. That's all it is. That is what samasa in Sanskrit. Two words combining and appearing to you as one word is called a samasa. That one word, if you know knew Sanskrit, you will be able to say, yeah, it has two words like Gajendra. Gajendra, Abhi, just now we saw Airavatam Gajendrana. That Gajendra is what? Two words. Gaja is elephant. Indra in this case means Patihi, Lord, the best of, the leader of, the head of, the most well-known elephant. Okay, that kind of. So Gaja Indra. Two words are there because we know Gaj and we know Indra. So therefore Gajendra is that Gajendra is therefore a samasa. In Sanskrit, we call it what? Gajendra is samasa. And how do you split this? We'll split it shortly, okay? So obviously here, Gajanam Indra. Among the elephants, the lord of the elephant, the greatest of the elephant is Gajendra. Indra. Okay, this is how you split the two words. Therefore, what happens in the samasa? You save these prepositions and all these things you save. Of. Indra of Gajas. Correct? Indra of Gajas is Gajendra. That of letter is missing in that word. So samasa advantage is what? You can get rid of all these prepositions of, in, for, all these things. For example. In English it is there. Don't think only in Sanskrit it is there. In English also it is there. To some extent. Okay? How come we have not seen you? In 2 weeks, I had been to Gangotri. I'd been to Gangotri. Oh, Gangotri, yeah. So it is so good, this, that, etc. But you know what? Gangotri is a hard to reach place. Hmm? How will you write this in English? How will you write it? When you write the sentence, Gangotri is a hard to reach place. Grammatically, is it correct? See, Sukanya ji is saying no. It's not correct. Gangotri is a hard to reach place. It's not correct. Yeah, what is this? Verb is there somewhere. It's all confusing, very confusing. But then to make it correct, you have to put hyphens between hard and to and reach. Hard dash to dash reach. If you say, then then it is acceptable. I think it's acceptable, no, Sukanyaji? We don't know. I think there is some doubt around this, probably. So then it is like saying hard to reach is one word. Treat it as an adjective to this place and then say hard to reach place. Make it into one word. I went to Shiva temple. Is it a correct English statement? I went to Shiva temple. Grammatically, is it correct in English? I don't.
No.
It is not correct.
I went to a Shiva temple.
Okay, okay. I went to a Shiva temple. Is it correct? Is it grammatically a correct sentence?
Shiva's temple.
Uh-huh.
Shiva's.
Shiva's temple.
Ah, ah. But we don't say
Temple of
Shiva's
Shiva.
temple. We don't say Shiva's temple. Shiva temple only. I went to this Shiva temple. Okay. This Shiva temple means you know, right? That Shiva temple. That Shiva. Shiva's temple. No, I've not heard anybody saying Shiva's temple at all. But it means Shiva's temple. Mentally, I know. Yeah, it is a temple where Shiva is a Pradhana Murti, and it is for Shiva. A temple for Shiva. Shiva's temple also. It is not like Shiva constructed the temple, right? Shiva. No, that's not that. Shiva's temple. It is a temple for Shiva. For worshipping Shiva, I go there. Shiva temple. So, but Shiva dash temple, if you put, it's somewhat better because that is how in English it should be. I went to Mumbai. Correct. Grammatically correct statement. I went to Shiva temple. Better put a hyphen there. That way it becomes one word. And at least for our understanding, let's say that is correct English. Okay, doesn't matter. But the dash Shiva temple is what? A samasa. Samasa. It's a samasa. I went to Shiva Mandir. Okay. The Mandir for Shiva. I went to Birla Mandir. Mandir for Birla?
Built by
Correct.
Of Birla.
Correct. I went to the temple which is popularly known as Birla Mandir because मंदिर में तो श्री कृष्ण है लेकिन this temple, why don't you call it Krishna temple? There are many Krishna's temple, but this one was constructed by Birla, Birlas, the industrialist Birla, and therefore it's called Birla Mandir. So Birla Mandir and Shiva Mandir cannot be understood the same way. One is for Shiva, one is by Birla. Temple by Birla, constructed by Birla. So preposition is different. One is for, another is by. So mentally we add the preposition. This is called samas. This is called samas. Okay. So it's not complex. In English also it is there. In every language it must be there. I am certain it is there in every language. Okay. And so in Sanskrit also, it's Sanskrit. This is a highly refined subject. Highly refined. We've got many types of samasas, bahuvrihi samasa, tatpurusha, abjayi bhava, dvandva. Like this, there is a list. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with all that. But I want you to understand what a samasa is and appreciate the beauty of it. That's all. That's all we want to see. Okay, and are you attending Jaykumarji's Zoom classes? Is that a correct grammatical sentence? You all understand it. We all talk, keep on talking fast. That too, we just super fast, and half the time the grammar is not correct. People will observe them, say, what are they talking? They will say. But we have no problem with it. Zoom classes. Zoom classes. No, Zoom classes better put a hyphen, but we don't put any hyphens anywhere. But technically, attending Zoom classes. Or maybe if you can justify Zoom as an adjective, I suppose it will work. But these are all samasas. Okay. Did you attend the Delhi conference? What is Delhi conference? Conference in Delhi. In Can you give me the Delhi conference materials? Delhi conference materials. What is this? What is this sentence? But we don't ask the question. We are very clear what you're asking. Can you give me the Delhi conference material? The materials from the conference in Delhi. From in all these prepositions are all dropped completely, but mind grasps all that. No problem. Okay. Like this, you can keep on adding. Keep on adding. Who is the Delhi conference material creator? Publisher. Who is the Delhi conference material publisher? Now I added 4. From 2, we went to 3, we went to 4. Delhi conference material publisher of the materials in the conference or of the conference in Delhi. Something like that. Okay. So, therefore, any number of words can be joined and see, we have to give some examples and then only appreciate it. Turmeric powder. Do you have turmeric powder? Because I don't have, I need to make some sambar. And sambar cannot be made without turmeric powder. So turmeric. Do you have turmeric powder? Turmeric powder is what? The powder of turmeric. Of that particular that particular thing that grows. It's called that seed. It actually grows underground. And that's called
Root.
root. Root. Powder of turmeric. Do you have tooth powder? See, those days I used tooth powder. I don't know how many of you use tooth powder. I think all of you would have used tooth powder. Tooth powder. So this is what we used to do. We never had a brush and all those days. Tooth powder. Even in college, I was using tooth powder. Because paste is too expensive compared to tooth powder. You can buy 3-4 bottles of tooth powder for one little thing of toothpaste.
Gopal Palpudi.
Gopal Palpudi. Every state will have their own registered trademark tooth powder.
Nanjangud.
Huh?
Nanjangud.
Good.
Yeah. So now, turmeric powder. Powder of turmeric. Tooth powder? Powder of tooth? Powder for the tooth. For. The preposition makes a big difference. So, raindrops. Raindrops. Drops of rain. Drops of rain. Okay. Then, what about, did you put your eardrops or eye drops? Did you put your eye drops? Drops of eye? No, not drops of eye. Drops for the eye. Drops which are meant for the eye. That drops, did you put in your eyes? Okay. So, there is a Bana Bhatta, Kadambari. He wrote a book called Kadambari. There's a whole one page. The entire page is not even one sentence. It is just one word. One word. Bana Bhatta. Okay. And then our Kalidasa writes Shyamala Dandaka. Okay. And here, look at this. Taraka Rajini Kashahara Vali Smera Charustana Bhoga Bhara Naman Madhya Valli Palicheda Vichi Samullasa Sandarshitakara Saundarya Ratnakare. He's Shamala. He's addressing Shamala. Over. So this is one word. Next word is shorter. Vallaki Bhrit Kare. Kinkara Shri Kare. Like that he says. Like that. Next again he gets into this mood. Pro Lasad Valika Mauktika Shrenika Chandrika Mando Lasad Bhasi Lavanya Gandasthala Nyasta Kasturika Patra Rekha Samudbhuta Saurabhya Sambhranta Bringangana Gita Sandri Bhavan Mandra Tantri Sware. Then Susware. Then Bhasware. So it's very easy to form all these words, especially if you get into the mood of it. And so this is called samasa. Samasa gives this Sanskrit writers so much freedom, flexibility, and that it just the language becomes not difficult to understand samasa, right? Who is the Delhi conference material publisher? Is it confusing that sentence? It's not confusing. No, it's not at all confusing. In fact, yeah, if I add two more words, it still won't be confusing. Same thing here also. So samasikasya cha. Samasika means of the various types of samasas that are there, of the various types of samasas, like the words we mentioned, tatpurusha, bahuvrihi, avyayi bhava, dvandva, etc. Of that, I am dvandva samasa. Dvandva samasa. Okay, so Padmanabha. Okay, we talked about Gajendra, right? Airavatam Gajendra. It's a type of samasa. Gajanam Indraha. Among the elephants, the head, the leader, the beautiful, the best is, that is best among. That is one type of samasa called Tatpurusha samasa. Then Padmanabha. Padmanabha we know. Padmanabha. This is very interesting because Padmanabha, Padma means lotus. Nabha refers to Nabhi, the navel. Nabhi, lotus. Where is Vishnu here? There is no connection between lotus and Nabhi and Vishnu. Look at this.
Padmam Nabhavyasya
Padma. Padma is lotus. Vishnu is not lotus. Nabhi is navel. Vishnu is not Nabhi. A word like Padmanabha, which does not refer to either of its constituents, it refers to something else. Anya pada pradhana is called Bahuvrihi Samasa. Don't worry about it. I'm just telling you, so for your information. You can study all this in Sanskrit. Anya pada pradhana. So neither Padma nor lotus, nor navel, but the guy on whose navel there is a lotus is called Padmanabha. That guy is called Vishnu. Nobody else has this. That's it, Vishnu, period. Only one. The only one. The Padmanabha. So like this, in English, if you ask, I don't know, maybe there, I don't know. We don't use it that often. You don't. Maybe it is there. You may be able to come up with an example. If you do,
Pitambaram. Pitambaram.
in English language, is there a word like that? I'm asking. Like this construction. Okay, we don't hear
Generally
it.
not, right? They'll end with
Only
ER
there.
or 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 something like that, right? Or 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 something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just, see,
Like teacher.
there is a movie. What is that movie?
It is suffix only. It's not.
See that Kevin Costner movie. If they will come. What is the name of the movie? About that Indians, native Indians.
Dancing with Wolves.
Dances with
Dancing
wolves.
with wolves. Dancing with wolves. Okay.
Dances with wolves. Dances with wolves.
Or dances something, yeah.
That's his name. That's his Indian name.
That's his name, Indian name.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no ER or OR in that. Okay. That person's name is Dances with Wolves. It's not an English word, really speaking. It's a translation of a native expression. Okay. Dances with Wolves. So that's a samasa. That's a beautiful samasa, beautiful bahuvrihi samasa. One who dances with the wolves is called dances with the wolves. Okay. Okay. That's a bahuvrihi samasa. Okay. Anyway, these are the different types of samasas. Bahuvrihi, tatpurusha, ityadi. Among that, I am dvandva, he says. Okay, let's spend some time on that. First, understand what is Dvandva Samasa. Vagartha viva sampruptau. Vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Aham vande. I do namaskar to. To whom? Parvati Parameshwarau. So those of you who know Sanskrit know that Parvati Parameshwarau is a dual. Dual. Okay. Ekavachanam or Bahuvachanam. I mean, it is Prathama Vibhakti or Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Vidya Vivak.
Dvitiya Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Tritiya
Correct.
Vibhakti.
Because Prathama also is same form. Okay. Because Aham Vande, Therefore, object. Okay. Fine. Now, it's Parvati Parameshwarau means what? Parvati cha Parameshwaraha cha Parvati Parameshwarau means Parvati and Parameshwar. That is the simple meaning of that. That is one word though. It is not two words. In Sanskrit, it is not two words. It is one word. Parvati Parameshwarau. You know mentally that, yeah, it has two words in it. Parvati and Parameshwar. Two words. And it refers to Parvati and Parameshwar. It is not like Bahuvrihi, Padmanabha. It's not like Padmanabha where it's referring to somebody which is neither Padma nor Nabha. Okay. Here it refers to Parvati and Parameshwar. Okay. Okay. This is called Dvandva Samasa. Dvandva Samasa. Okay. Which sons of Dasharatha went to the forest? Rama Lakshmana. Rama Lakshmana. If you want to, Rama and Lakshmana, you can say Ramascha, Lakshmanascha, you can say. But if you want to be even more, Rama together, you want to present them as one entity. Brothers, all right, but one entity, then you say Rama Lakshmana. Or if you want to go further, you can say Rama Lakshmana Sita. This is called Dvandva Samasa. Dvandva Samasa. Okay. It's a beautiful usage here in Sanskrit. And suppose you say, suppose I ask you, did we encounter this in our Bhagavad Gita ever? Indriyasendriyasyarte ragadveshau vyavasthitau tayor navashamagacchit tau hyasya paripanthino. Some time ago, many years ago, we studied that. Okay, so it must have come in the second chapter, I think. Indriyasya. Ragadveshau. That is a dvandva samasa. Ragascha, dveshascha, ragadveshau. It's raga and dvesha. That is the meaning of that.
Labha Labho Jaya Jayo.
Labha labho, jaya jayo. Look at that. Okay. Labha labho. Labhascha, alabhascha, labha labho. Jaya jayo. Jayascha, ajayascha, jaya jayo. Jaya Jayo is not victory, victory, victory. No, Jaya, 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 Jaya. No, not that is not that is Jaya Jayo, not Jaya Jayo. It's Jaya Jayo. Okay, we want only victory and victory. Let there be only victory and victory for you. Jaya Jayo. You can say Jaya Jayo.
Sukha Dukkha.
Sukadukke is our famous Narayanji. Sukadukke Samekrita. Whenever I think of Sukadukke Samekrita, I think of Narayan. Okay, he has that profile. He used to have that. Sukadukke Samekrita. Sukadukke, Sukham cha, Dukkham cha, Sukadukke. Okay, samasa, dvandva samasa. So like this is a common usage, as you can see in our Bhagavad Gita itself, you can see. And then another long compound, which we, even in chanting, we did not break. What is that? Huh?
Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam.
Okay, that is going to come in the 15th, 13th chapter, I think. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. That is one word. That is one word. That first half of the shloka is one.
Pralapavin sujanu guhanu mishannapi.
No. That is separate words. Pralapan is one word. Pralapan, Visrijan, Krinhan. All these are separate words. And
Suhran
it's all
Mitra. Suhran
ah
Mitra.
correct. Satish is saying Suhrun Mitra Yudasina Madhyastadveshya Bandhushu. That is one word. One word. How did it become one word? Suhrut Suhrit by itself cannot, you have to form, to make it a word, you must add something. So Suhrit, Mitra. What is the meaning of these things? Suhrit means one who does good but doesn't expect anything back in return. That person is a Suhrit. Mitra means friend, Udasina, etc. We saw some in one of the chapters we saw that. We saw it must have been in the fourth or something like that, fourth chapter. So that's one word. Okay. Suhrin Mitra Yudasina Madhyastadveshya Bandhushu. That's one word. So that is a Dvandva Samasa. Why? Because it has so many different words. Suhrin, Mitra, Udasina, Madhyastha, Bandhu, Dveshya, okay, Bandhu. So many words and so many different people are described, mentioned in that one word. And among those are Tadveshya Bandhushu Sadhushvapi cha Papeshu Samabuddhirvishishyate. The one who doesn't see any difference, fundamentally any difference between these two, between these people. So Dvandva Samasa it becomes. Okay.
Mahodaya, can you say the same thing for Varunendra, Rudra, Maruta?
Correct? Correct. Where to go? Varunendra, Rudra, Maruta. Varuna, Indra, Rudra, Maruta. 4 words, 4 names are there in this one samasa. Okay, correct. That's how it goes. Especially with this proper nouns, you find these things quite a bit. And some otherwise also, Raga, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukkha, all that is there. Okay, nouns.
Mirapo Nalo Nilaha.
Anala.
Bhumirapo, Nalo, Nilaha. Yeah, exactly. Bhumirapo, Nalo. Wait a minute now. Illa, it's not a samasa. If it were a samasa, you won't have that repa will bhumihi apaha. So bhumihi apo. There's bhumi rapo. If it were samasa, it would have been bhumyapo.
The
Bhumi
root words only. Pratipadika.
is a pratipadika. Bhumi, not bhumihi. Okay. So it is not samasa. Catchy, very tricky. Good. That's the way. When you learn samasa, you'll pick it up. You'll pick it up. Okay, good. So I don't want this to become a Sanskrit class because there are many people who are not necessarily enamored with Sanskrit yet. And so I think it's not fair on my part to make this into a Sanskrit talk. Okay. So uh, so now we understand that there are different types of samasas. And among that, this samasa, I am Dvandva samasa, he says. What is this? I am Dvandva samasa. How come? What is special about Dvandva? Hey, this is very not difficult. It's nice, uncanny. Look at this. In Bahuvrihi, Padma Nabha. I am neither Padma nor Nabha. The word, final word is neither Padma nor Nabha. Okay. And then in other forms also, like Tatpurusha, etc. Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya. 2 words or 1 word inside? Brahma Vidya is 1 word.
2 words.
It is
Yeah,
composed of
Brahma.
two words, Brahma and Vidya. Brahman and Vidya. Okay? Brahman and Vidya. Brahmanaha Vidya. The knowledge of Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma, is called Brahma Vidya. Correct? Brahma Vidya. But here, finally the word is Vidya or the word is Brahman. Is the word Brahma Vidya referring to Vidya or Brahman?
Vidya.
It is referring to Vidya. It is a type of Vidya which refers to study of Brahma or knowledge of Brahma. Okay, related. Brahma is also part. But it is Vidya or not? It is Vidya. It is one of the words. Vidya is a primary word in Brahma Vidya. And Vidya is characterized by Brahma. But primary word is Vidya because Brahma Vidya is Vidya. Not Brahma Vidya is Brahma, you can't say. Therefore, in these samasas, one particular word predominates or no word predominates. But in Dvandva, guess what? Parvati, Parameshwarau, Sukadukhe, Ragadveshau, all words have to be given equal importance. Therefore, I am Dvandva Samasaha, my dear friend. Okay, that is what Krishna is saying here. Amazing, is it not? Amazing. That's all. That's the only word I have for this kind of stuff. And you need to know a little Sanskrit, then you can enjoy it even more. Okay, we have a minute left. Okay. Ahameva kshayah kalaha. Kalaha. Kalaha, time. Ahameva. I am time alone. What? Akshayah kalaha. This kala seems to be time. Everybody keeps moving on, but kala doesn't seem to move on at all. It seems to stay. And even Pralaya. Pralaya also, Brahmaji also, my goodness. Brahmaji, at least you would think is a great guy, long living and all. He's only long living. That's all. Afterwards, he also has to say Tata. Tata, he has to say. Time. Time seems to outlive Brahmaji also. And therefore, in 11th chapter, Krishna is again going to say Kalosmyaham. Kalosmi lokakshaya krit prabuddha. Like that, he's going to say Kalaha asmi. Here also he says Kalaha aham asmi. Inexhaustible time I am. Dhata aham vishwato mukhaha. This you already know. Dhata. Karma phala dhata. Within brackets, you put karma phala dhata. Okay? I am the one that really gives whatever is to be given to everybody. This whole world is just ticking, tuck, 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 tuck. Everything, the tree is there, the leaves are shaking like this. Why is it shaking? Because there is wind. Oh, the laws of the wind, the laws of how things should move when wind strikes them. All that I am. Every leaf, how it should move, that is me. That law is me. So many jiva rashis are there. How their entire life governed by me. Next second, how every life is going to be. Who is going to perish in the next second? That is also me. Their entire life is governed by me. That means I must be what? Sarvajna, Sarvavit. I am all knowledgeable. I am the one who everything that you see in front of your eyes and that you don't see also is me. Vishwato Mukha. Why? Because the jivas are there all over. The universe is everywhere. So Vishwato Mukha. My sight is all over 360 degrees. Vishwato Mukha. All knowing. Look at the word here. Vishwato Mukha. I am faced in all directions. I am faced towards the universe. You can't face the universe because if you are facing this means backside, who's going to look at? Vishwato Mukha. I know everything. I am watching everything. Okay, that is the idea. Dhata, aham dhata vishwato mukhaha. And so we can go on and on this. Let's translate this shloka and conclude today's class. Among the letters, I am akaraha. I am a. Among the letters, I am a. And I am the dvandva among the compounds. And I am the dvandva among the compounds. Compounds means compound, not chemical compound. This is the compound words, if you want to add. Compound words in language. And I am the dvandva among the types of compounds. That also you can say. Among the types of compounds. Types is better, I think. Because dvandva is a type. Semicolon. I am indeed the perennially eternal time. I am indeed the perennially eternal time. Full stop. I am the giver. I am the giver within brackets of karma phalam. I am the giver of karma phalam. Who is all pervasive. All pervasive. Swamiji is translating Vishwato Mukhaha as all pervasive. So let me repeat this. Among the letters, I am the dvandva among the types of compounds. Semicolon. or compound types, compound dash types. That is another samasa in English, right? I am indeed the perennially eternal time. Full stop. I am the giver of karma phalam who is all pervasive. Full stop. We continue this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om